Welcome to the Business Information Buffet Podcast, also known as the BIB Podcast, where everybody eats, powered by the College of Southern Nevada. Each week, we'll be featuring business owners and entrepreneurs that will provide their personal recipes for business, powerful conversations, and knowledge of the business world. We amplify the stories of various backgrounds, cultures, and expertise. Our self-identity is as diverse as our social community. We cultivate a community of like-minded individuals that share their different perspectives, broadening our worldview. Are you ready? This is the BIB Podcast, where everybody eats.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
Welcome back to the Business Information Buffet Podcast, also known as the BIB Podcast, where everybody eats, under the operation at the College of Southern Nevada here at the North Las Vegas campus for another essential enriching episode. I am your host, Sean Tory, with our DJ Icebreak, and unfortunately he couldn't be here today, so we're going to continue to rock on in his honor. I'm going to get to her in a minute. Our episode today is called Zen Side Out with June, our special guest, all right? So ladies and gentlemen, today's guest is inspiring people to find peace of mind with her essential oils and products, right? So our guest today has over 20 years of experience and has continued to lecture and enjoy her ongoing studies on mental, physical, and spiritual wellness, right? She is a creator of Zen Side Out's natural bath, body, and aromatherapy products. Hello, come on, let's get applause for that. Her products are handmade and specially formulated from premium quality, natural, and organic ingredients, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the aesthetic, the enthusiastic, the most compassionate owner and manufacturer of Zen Side Out LLC. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss June Matute-Green. How you doing, man?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much, Sean, for inviting me. This is going to be so much fun.
It's going to be so much fun. We're going to have a good time today.
Yes, we are.
So let's Miss June, let's go ahead and get to know you a little bit. Tell the people about you.
Well, I am a single mom, and
shout out to the single moms.
Thank you. My baby's 23 though.
She's 23.
So,
hey, listen, she a grown baby. It's all right.
She is, but she's always going to be my baby, and I'm so proud of her. She's about to graduate from the University of Southern California.
USC stand up.
Yes, on Friday, and so now it's Inside Out. It's my new baby.
Oh, it's a new baby.
Yes, and I actually gave birth to Inside Out in 2017.
You know what?
Yeah.
You better than me. I have a 23-year-old, and then you went ahead and gave birth to a whole nother baby.
Exactly.
It's Inside Out the business, ladies and gentlemen. It is a baby.
It is.
Okay?
It is. It's a full-time responsibility, just like any child you will ever have. As a matter of fact, I stayed up all last night, just like you do with a baby, because I've got a show this evening.
That's right.
And by me making everything by hand, you have to have it fresh. You have to have it ready. Mm-hmm. And if you're not there to do it, when you're butcher, baker, candlestick maker, it's not done unless you do it. So you put in a lot of time, but I love it.
You love it?
I love it. I wouldn't do anything I don't love.
So walk us through before 2017.
Okay.
What were you doing? What were your aspirations? Like, what was your career? What were you into prior to creating Zen Side Out?
Well, I've been an independent contractor for over 30 years.
Okay, so always been an entrepreneur.
Always.
Oh, salute. Come on, man. I love it.
But what it was through modeling. I used to travel the country as a representative for General Motors at their auto shows. So, the presenter that's on the stage that says, this is a 3.6 liter V6 engine. That was me.
That was you.
For years and years and years.
Wow.
And I had a blast doing it. And then there was the print and the runway that you would do, because I'm originally from Chicago.
Okay.
And so there was always print, runway, Neiman Marcus, hair shows. You were always busy. And so that filled up my life. And then we were blessed to have Ariel. And then that becomes your world.
Yeah, your child becomes your world.
You're still in the driver's seat, but she is definitely a front seat passenger. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so you go through your life, and I would have to divide my time between, because with the auto show schedules, I was gone 10 days out of the month.
Oh, okay.
Every month. But I was home the other 20, 21 days.
Right.
And that just was so fulfilling. I'm so blessed to have had that as my career, because you get to call your shots. And as an entrepreneur, you will never fire yourself.
Yeah. So
I highly recommend doing it for anybody that's out there that's thinking about it. Just do it. Take the first step. Take the first step. Think of, a lot of people have come to me to say, how do you know what to do? I would love to start my own business or do my own thing, but how do you know what to do? And my answer for over 20 years has always been, think about if you had all the money you've ever wanted. Mm-hmm. After you take the trips and after you have the tour around the world and all the shopping, what would you do for free? Because you love to do it.
That passion, compassion.
That passion. And I don't recommend anybody doing anything that they're not passionate about.
I agree.
Because it's not as easy as it seems to follow your dreams and to be an entrepreneur. It takes guts. It takes grit. It takes prayer. It takes faith.
Discipline. All those things.
It takes discipline. Sometimes it will take you down, but you have to get back up. There's a poem that my great aunt used to read to us, and part of it, it's the poem "If."
If, yeah, I love "If" by Rudyard Kipling.
Yes, and there's a part in that poem that she would recite to us ever since I was like 3 years old. That you have to know how to, when the dream that you've given your life to shatters, and you have to stoop and rebuild it, build it back up with worn out tools.
Yes, I love that. Yeah.
That was instilled in me, like I said, since 3 years old.
Yeah, that poem was instilled in me in other ways. Okay. But I love that poem. One of my favorite parts about that is if you can talk about the pitch and toss.
Yes,
the pitch and toss, and if
you can risk
all your winnings
on one game,
one game of pitch and toss,
and
lose and start again at the beginning, and never be a word about your loss. That was one of my favorite parts.
I love it.
Or Walk with Kings, nor lose the common touch.
Yes,
those are things, and man, there's so many gems in that poem.
It is.
Man, there's so many gems.
It's a life lesson in that poem, and at the end it says, what is more, you'll be a man, my son. But it applies to women too.
It applies to women, non-binary, everybody. Yes,
it really does. If you've never read it before, I would highly recommend you get a copy of it.
I agree.
You put it on your mirror.
Put it on your mirror, on your wall, ladies and gentlemen. That's "If" by Rudyard Kipling.
Yeah,
great poem.
So you live your life through the divorce, and you stoop and build up your new life. Because, of course, I've always been very Disney. I love happy endings.
Right.
I knew my first husband since we were 8 years old. And you think that it's going to be the sunset, where you're rocking on the porch and you're just remembering all the memories. Well, Cinderella's glass slipper got broken and it cut deep. But you have to learn how to pick up those pieces.
Yes,
you have to learn how to get you some more comfortable shoes and move on and grow. And what you find is your strength. What you find is who you are.
I agree.
What you find is what you're made of. And that is such a non-monetary benefit of living your dreams and going after your passion. And I'm talking about the thing that God put in you that you just cannot ignore. That's another way to know if it's for you to do, because it just won't go away. You try to ignore it. You try to put it off. You try to, give yourself excuses, and it won't go away. You rationalize, which I call giving yourself rational lies, and it won't go away. And it's like, okay, then I better start on this. And I've always taken the attitude, if not now, when?
When.
You know?
So then thinking about that part of your journey then led you to now fast forward 2017 and now the continued success of Zen Side Out and your baby who's graduated from USC. Come on now.
Yes.
Can you think of a time where you planned something and it didn't go accordingly? How did you make it work?
I just shared that.
You did?
When you planned a lifetime.
The Cinderella story.
Yes. And you both realize, you wake up one morning and say, you know what, this isn't what we signed up for, is it?
Yeah.
And the blessing is we stayed friends. Because like I said, we've been friends since we were 8 years old. So we stayed friends. And because, 16 years of marriage, I've known you longer than we've been married. So if we could, share a child together, surely we could get back to the friendship that we had before she came along. And what you end up doing is, like I said, finding out who you really are, what you're made of, especially as a woman in the business world, especially in the modeling field, because people just assume that, you're the giggly stereotype that, I think that's a steering wheel. Let me check the manual, and you have to contend with that in an intelligent way, because I know at GM, we had to know our stuff. Yeah. We had to know it frontwards and backwards. We went through the ringer with, we call ourselves gearheads because you end up knowing those engines and things like that because you have to. Right. You have to. You want to do your job well, but not only do you want to do your job well, you want to break that stereotype. When guys will come up to you and ask you questions that they would never ask another guy, like, what's the coefficient of the drag on this car compared to a Corvette? Right. Okay. Well, let me tell you about it.
That's not the average conversation you have when you're talking about cars with other guys. It's more so of like, okay, well, like, all right, like you may get down to the gist of the engines if you're trying to compare, like, all right, which one's going to get me to the 5 second or, but no, people do not have those average conversations like that. Stop. But
it was always fun because when you weren't on the road, you had something local to do, whether it was a trade show at McCormick Place or whether it was a photo session for Neiman Marcus or whatever you're doing, and so I have made a life of having a good time.
See, that's good.
Having a great time and letting the money come, knowing first and foremost who the money is coming from. The money is coming from my creator. Now, there are multiple channels that he can send my blessings through, but the money is coming, my source of my supply is my creator. And you can call him God, you can call him the universe, you can call him inner spirit, spiritual being. There's a whole list out there. Right. But I kind of believe that I like the term the universe. Yes, the universe. Because when you try to put something so infinite into one name, people get their stuff attached to it based on what they were told that name meant. Right. And I don't care what you call him. You know what I mean? Because when you're going out there, sometimes you don't have the crystal staircase that you think it's going to be. And you're going to have those come to Jesus moments where you're like, am I crazy for wanting to do this? Everybody else I know has a 9 to 5. Am I crazy thinking I can make a living living my dreams? Right. And it's like they come up. Sometimes few and far between, but they come up and you're going to have some stick-to-itness. You're going to have that foundation that I'm not doing this. This is being done through me. Right. How dare I think that, I could be chosen of hundreds of women to get on this magazine without God. You know what I mean? Come on. You got to get real. And that's another thing that being an independent contractor will teach you. It makes you look inside yourself. You see your weaknesses.
I like that. That's true.
You see, what you can do. You see what you can't do. And if you're honest with yourself, you know there's a lot of inward work that you still have to do.
I agree.
You know what I mean? And it's so refreshing to grow every day. you know.
So what are some things you've experienced that, as you're talking about that, because you gave me a little bit of your recipe. I heard it.
Okay.
You gave me talking as far as all the blessings that's been bestowed upon you as an entrepreneur, the universe, like the universe,
Yes.
right? Like, because I believe in saving God universe as
Yes.
well. So it's like, what are some things that you've experienced that could have worked out in theory, but did not go that way in practice?
Okay. When you think that your contract, like you believe the wrong people.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
And you know, you have this whole contract laid out and this is how it's going to go. And you've got all the promises and you have everything but the ink dry. And then they go in a different direction. And again, there you are putting all your belief in, oh, they promised somebody else's promise, and it gives you a whirlwind and you have to start up again.
Yeah.
And I experienced that through business with, in Texas. I was, you know, all set, and I'd even, you know, supplied some products to this great new resort. I won't name any names, but fabulous resort. They're known in, you know, 5 different states. And they went through 3 managers with me still supplying them. And it was glorious. And I thought, oh my God, this is so what I've always wanted.
Right.
And the 4th manager came in and decided to go in a different direction. She wanted a name brand. And it was like, but the quality of my products is there.
It's there.
You know, but she, you know, had her
vision.
Her vision of what she wanted it to look like. And, you know, you just take the hit and you get back up.
And you keep going.
You say, you know what, the last I checked, God made more spas than this one. Made more resorts than this one. And then you end up moving to Las Vegas, where there's a ton of resorts.
Talk about
spas.
it. Talk about it now.
Do you know what I mean? That's why you have to have your foundation in the real source of your supply, because some people can make the mistake of thinking that was their ticket.
That's gonna last forever. It's gonna be longevity.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even if it would have come through as planned, that's still not all God can do for you.
I agree.
You know, and so it increased my vision. It didn't, you know, make me feel disappointed. It increased my vision. And one of the things that happened that, you know, really made me know I was on the right path is during that same time that was happening, I got blessed to be on an infomercial, a program for 30 minutes.
I think I saw that.
You saw that.
I did see that.
And we sold over $10,000 in shower steamers in 30 minutes. 30 minutes! And I got the blessing of, you know, co-hosting with them and having a good time. And so just like you saw something not come through at the very other end of the stick, something else came through.
That God in the universe.
I mean,
come on now.
I mean, and you know, what I have learned is every day is brand new.
It is.
I've never had this day before. And so
like
I'm expecting good things. I'm expecting better things because it's a new day. So who's to say what's going to happen today? You decide how your day's going to be. You know, you can have the same people walking down the same street, and if it's 30 people, there's 30 different experiences on that street.
Right.
And so you've got to decide, what are you going to focus on? Because that's the key. Whatever you focus on is your experience. And I choose to focus on the sunshine, or if it's raining, the abundance of raindrops. God doesn't do anything in a lackful basis. And so I'm from Chicago, like I said. I think about things like that when it comes to money. When has God ever allowed you to be able to count the raindrops in just a sprinkling spring rain? You still can't count the raindrops. It's still too abundant. In a Chicago, not even snowstorm, just a snowy day, you can't count the snowflakes. God does everything he puts his mind to in abundance. Why would he give me a vision and not give me a provision? That doesn't make sense.
That's true. Hear a little bit of that magic, ladies and gentlemen. That's a recipe that added into there. So thank you, man. That was definitely a phenomenal conversation. Thank you for just tapping in and giving us a bit of who June is.
Thank you.
And as June approaches, June is going to make sure that we get in depth into what Zen Side Out is. Okay. So are you ready for the next segment?
I believe I am.
You know, I'm sorry I had to do this to you.
Okay.
You ready for it?
I already forgive you. It's okay. Let's do it.
I gotta put you in the hot seat, ma'am. I gotta put you in it.
I can do it.
Cool. So in this segment, we go in depth. We ask in-depth questions to learn more about you as a guest and your business, right? Mm-hmm. It used to be rapid fast questions, but I think the questions that we've learned to develop in the hot seat are truly to really get to the root of why your business is flourishing the way it is, right?
Yes.
So, Miss June, what does Zen Side Out stand for?
Zen Side Out means that you are living with your Zen side or your peaceful side on the outside. Zen Side Out.
I like that.
Zen Side.
And she did come in very gifts. I forgot to say that. Y'all see this?
The shower steamers, yeah.
Oh, the shower. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
So living your peaceful side outside.
Yeah.
Your peaceful inside outside.
Yeah. So, you know,
I definitely smell that.
It is more than my company logo, which my daughter designed for me, by the way. So it's good to have an animator in the family.
So if y'all didn't notice, she plugged her daughter for animation. If y'all who can do her logos, if y'all need a logo done, go to her daughter.
Go to my daughter. But, you know, that's the thing. I see the connection of everything. And, you know, even, not to get sidetracked, but even her birth.
Right.
Was miraculous to me, and I almost missed the miracle because I was like, yeah, we planned her, and you know, she's coming just as we planned, because I kind of planned my pregnancy around my auto show schedule, you know, so that I could return and get back on the stage and make the money that pay for her, you know.
Right.
And she was born a preemie. Talk about a curveball.
Oh, wow.
She was born 6 weeks early, and she was 3 pound quarter ounce, but to make a long story short, her very first test was with Easter seals to see if she would be normal, average person. She has been above average her entire existence. And that is nothing but God.
That's nothing but God.
And so, you know, when you see that kind of miracle happen before your very eyes, you know what?
Ain't no questioning.
There's no questioning.
There's no questioning at all. Come on now.
No questioning, because if I didn't do it, I couldn't do it. I don't even know how to make a souffle. How do you make a baby? You know what I mean? And then you have this being come through you, and you realize you're not just a vessel for that being. You're a vessel for all God's plans for you.
Agreed.
You got to be open and receptive and let it flow. Just like the nursery rhymes tell you, row your boat gently down the stream.
Come on now.
You know, but the bottom line is, I just love that Zen Side Out helps people feel good.
I love that.
I know it sounds corny as it can be.
No, it doesn't at all. It does not.
I'm very Disney. I am very happy ending. And, you know, it just feels so good. Like I make a joint relief body butter that during COVID, you know, one of my customers from when I was doing farmers markets, and of course that shut down. I was like, I'm not going out there. And she contacted me. And I made a drop off at her door, and, you know, I rang the bell and kind of ran to her front lawn. And this is this elderly woman. And so by the time she comes to the door, I'm back at my car, and she looks at the package and she goes, oh, thank you. I have arthritis, and this is the only thing that helps me. That's more than money can give you.
That's all. Man, come on.
That's more than money can give you. When you see people have a positive reaction and experience from something you made with your hands, and you had your idea, because I use my own original recipes. I make sure that my footprint is always based on integrity. I make sure that I use premium products, and I make sure I work with people that have integrity.
Right.
Because, you know, my very first philosophy matches the Hippocratic Oath, which is do no harm.
Don't harm. Come on now.
Do no harm. You know, because you have people that are out there, and I don't know if you know about smudging with the white sage. Okay, it's a Native American.
Sorry. Yes, I do know about smudging. I lied. I do know about that.
And people are now it's popular. When the Native Americans and the Africans have been doing it.
I learned about it a decade ago when I went up to college because during the powwow they were doing it there, and I was like, because I used to work for the Center for Student Cultural Diversity. Okay. So that's when I really got exposed to. Especially our indigenous folks, our indigenous brothers and sisters, and what's been going on. They've been doing this.
They've been doing it, and in Africa as well.
And our brothers and sisters there as well.
This is a religious experience for them, and you've got companies out there that are ravaging the land for the white sage and not leaving it so that it can regrow. And so I only work with companies that have their own white sage farms.
See, that's like that.
Don't take from the nature. These are things that are sacred, and you need to give them that respect. It's not a trend. You've got to respect, and that means you've got to know your research.
So what are the benefits of using your products? Your services, I should say,
because
you gave some already, but I definitely, since we were already there, definitely wanted to ask that question.
Relaxing.
Ooh.
Finding yourself.
Matter of fact, you're right, because I'm definitely
being still.
I took a shower already this morning, but I want to take another one again, because ladies and gentlemen, I need y'all to know this thing right here. I keep smelling it.
I'm glad you like it.
I don't like it. I love it.
I'm glad.
Okay.
Good for you, and good for anybody who tries it.
I ain't even used it yet, but that's how good this thing is. Right.
Well, I encourage you to use it. And Clarity is the shower steamer that's for opening up your sinuses and clearing your sinuses. That's why it's called Clarity.
No, I might have to buy some more of these because I have a nose blockage.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm supposed to have surgery on it. I'm not doing it no time soon. But my nasal wall's shut on one of my sides of my nose. So it's like my nose is crooked a little bit.
Yeah.
And this, when I smelled it, it opened me up, and I think that's why I'm so attracted to it too.
Yeah, it has eucalyptus, camphor, menthol, and rosemary.
You heard? I see. I only know about 3 out of the 4 she just described.
But that's the benefit when you can help somebody to be still and quiet their minds and just find themselves. Be the eye of the storm, because like in a tornado, everything is going around
right.
crazy. But in the center of that tornado, there's peace. There's quiet, there's still. So you have to learn to be the eye of the storm in your own life. And I also make a crystal salt that you can take to work, and so that you can have the experience of a shower steamer while you're at the office. All you need is hot water in a cup. And you don't drink it. You just put as little as much as you want in the cup with the hot water, and you just inhale. And you can just go on another hour at work. Just inhale. That's what I always encourage people to do. Just breathe. Even if you don't have my product in front of you, just breathe. You will be surprised what a relaxing breath can do when you might have tension in your shoulders that you didn't even realize you had. If you just take a moment to breathe.
Breathe, ladies and gentlemen. Breathe.
Just breathe. And the thing that I love is, taking care of yourself first. A lot of people mistake that for being selfish, but the Bible says that you should love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. But like I said, it said that you should love your neighbor as you love yourself. But a minister friend of mine added this, and I love it. He said, but if you don't love yourself, your neighbor is in trouble. And so it's not selfish to take care of you first. You can't give from an empty bucket. You have to fill up your own bucket, and then you can freely give from the overflow. Right. And that brings me to another point. Fill your own bucket. I'm Disney, but I'm not waiting for the prince to come.
She said, I ain't waiting for no prince to come.
I'll pay my bills when he gets here. No, that's going to leave you on the dotted red, yellow line. You know what I mean? So fill your own bucket, and then whatever you get from anybody else, whether it's a spouse, a partner, a friend, is bonus. Make them icing to you being the cake.
Yeah, you hear a little bit of that recipe she's giving us, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to need y'all to pay attention.
Okay, and see, I've always been taught, my mother taught me that, and she proved it with her recipe, butter pound cake is delicious with or without icing.
See, listen, you got don't
okay, my mama could cook some butter pound cake. You know what I mean?
Don't get me thinking about
and
that.
So that's the beauty of being an entrepreneur,
right?
Because, like I said before, you will never fire yourself, and you will always find another path. There's always another path. Like Zen Side Out is the hub in my wheel, but now I'm expanding to Zen Side Inside, which is the Zen home goods, where I have glass cutting boards that look like art, so you can hang it on your wall, or you can use it as a cutting board. Then Zen Side Inside like spoked off into Zen Side Outside. So that's where your yoga hoodies and your yoga mats come from and all of that. And I do all of that by hand. I have all the equipment in my home and I make anything I want. And I'm loving it. I am loving it. I have often said, I make these products for me and then I just make enough to share with the world, because I use what I put out there.
Right. See, and that's actually leading to the last question for the hot seat is how are you able to balance manufacturing your products in your personal life?
You know what? I enjoy both. I enjoy both. And so I work when I'm inspired.
Ooh, I love that. Okay.
I don't work because it's 9:00. I work because, I feel like making some tropical escape lotion. So I get up and I do it.
I want to escape to the tropical.
Okay, you're gonna do that on your honeymoon.
I am.
Right here.
Hey, listen, yes, ma'am.
Yes,
I definitely am.
Yes, but
ma'am.
Sometimes that leads me into starting my workday at 8 p.m. And ending my workday like I was telling you earlier. I didn't go to sleep tonight yet because I have a show this evening.
Right.
And if you're in the area, we're going to be
Jazz in the Park.
At the Jazz in the Park.
Let's go.
Exactly. It's across from the Designer Outlet.
Yes, the outlets. The right there by Charleston, ladies and gents.
Yeah.
Right there at the Clark County building.
And
so
smooth jazz and smooth vendors, and everything's going to go really smooth tonight. I'm looking forward to it. But I enjoyed staying up last night because I was fulfilling orders that have already been ordered, and I was fulfilling things that will be available on sale. And when you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. I know that's a cliche. I know you've heard it a million times, but it's true.
No, I agree.
It is true. I'm like, I can sleep tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can stay in bed all day tomorrow. I won't fire me. And so I just totally encourage people to do what they love and love what they do.
Do what they do. Well, ma'am, you made it through the hot seat. See, it wasn't bad, was it? I told you it was a dip questions that brought it out you.
I'm glad. I'm glad to be of service.
Of course,
even on fire.
On fire. Because now, as we got the cooking, we got to talk about your sauce.
Yes.
We know we got to talk about your sauce, right?
You get lost in the sauce.
So, in this segment, this gives us more. This gives us more insight on our guests, where we ask, what is your special ingredient for your business? Tell us why nobody can replicate what you do, right? So, Miss June, tell us, what makes Zen Side Out a business nobody can duplicate what you do?
Because my sauce is my source. Ooh. God is the CEO
Come on now.
of Zen Side Out.
Zen Side Out.
You will get integrity. You will get premium products. Like I mentioned, you will have no harm done to you because I am going to only use ingredients on your body that I would put on mine. And great. I use, like, for the shower steamers, you could get them at the store, but you can't get those. You can't get Zen Side Out shower steamers at the store because I use enough fragrance that it will last for 20 to 30 minutes and beyond. I started making these products for myself, and I'm 5'10" and a half, and it sounds crazy, but my philosophy was there's a long way down to, from the floor up to my nose. That's a long way. And so I don't want to snort my shower floor to smell the fragrance because I've used those in the stores that won't be named. And I was like, I can make this and I can make it better. And so the premium ingredients that I use, the love and care, and I stand behind my product that I put into it. Like I said, I do extensive research on who's the company that's supplying my company.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because integrity is number one. It has to be. And if I wouldn't use it, I wouldn't sell it.
And what would you say would be that one secret ingredient that makes Zen Side Out
the love I have for helping other people feel good.
Thank you for giving us that. Thank you.
I genuinely, I am so blessed that I am given from the overflow. I have had a blessed life, still having a blessed life. God is opening up doors I didn't even know were there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And just, just the experiences that I've had holding his hand. I just know that this is only the beginning.
It's only the beginning.
Every day is only the beginning.
Come on now.
And so, it's time to live your best life.
Come on. She's absolutely right, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to live your best life in the most authentic, healthy way, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. And one last thing, if I can share.
Of course.
Don't listen to other people.
God
wasn't talking to them about your dream.
Lord.
God was talking to you about your dreams. So, and don't be mad at them when they don't get it. It wasn't for them to get. And if they can't hear God telling them about their dreams, how do you expect them to hear God telling you about yours? We hold unrealistic expectations for the people we love. We expect them to think like we think. And that's just not possible. We are all coming from our own experience and our own perspective. And, you've got to let people be. That's what I want. I want to be. So how could I not let somebody else be whoever they are?
Where they're meant to be. I agree.
And I don't have to agree with you for you to do your thing. And the beautiful part is, I don't have to agree with you for me to do my thing.
That's true.
And so we need to put the blame down and start saying, you know what, I'm going to go for this. And if you're not ready to come with me, then I bless and I release you to be your best self. But it's time.
It's time for you to be you.
If you're still here post-COVID, and I know we're still going through it, but you know what everybody is saying, the worst is over. Don't you think that if there wasn't something else for you to do, that you could have been taken by that little virus?
That's true.
The fact that you are inhaling and exhaling this day means there is something else for you to do. I don't care if you're 8 or 108. If you are inhaling and exhaling, you still have something to do. And it's probably fun. Reach for it. Reach for it. Keep your main job if you have to, and go for your dreams at night. Find a way, because there's a way out there. Because like the man said, everybody is self-made, but only the successful will admit it.
Admit it, come on now.
So if you're not where you want to be, today is a new day for you. Tomorrow does not have to be what yesterday was. And that's going to be based on what you do today. So I want everybody to go out there, have a great time, do no harm, and live with their Zen Side Out.
Thank you so much for giving us that sauce, ladies and gentlemen. Deeply appreciate that, Miss June. You definitely gave us a lot of gems and a lot of not of knowledge and wisdom for our entrepreneurs and our listeners to view. So I can't thank you enough for just coming on our show. It's been an honor for you to be here today.
My honor. The pleasure has been mine.
Oh, come on now. It's not a problem.
It has been.
Because now we got to go into our last segment, which is the happy hour, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
And I got something for you.
Uh-oh.
Hold up. There it is. On behalf of the Business Information Buffet Podcast, this is for you.
Thank you. Can I peep inside?
Of course you can peep inside.
Cool.
It's yours.
Cool. I love it.
Not a problem.
I love it. I'm going to put one on.
No problem.
I have the headphones on, but that's what it's going to look like.
So in this,
thank you so much.
As we come to the closing of our show, we take a toast between the guest and the host, a success. So we ask, what's going on great, big or small for you? So Miss June, what is something that is great going on so that we can take a toast to with this apple cider?
All right. The best thing that is going on for me right now is I woke up to a new day and I'm ready for it. And I'm going to be at, like we said before, Jazz in the Park. And sometime we're out at Tivoli Village at the night shows there. And the best is yet to come. I just got back to Vegas in October, and it is time to set Vegas on fire.
Let's go. Thank many toasts, many blessings to you. Thank you.
That's good.
Yes. Every time. Much needed. So, Miss June, drop all your social handles. Tell people where they can find you.
My website is www.zensideoutlife.com. I've been adding more to it.
Yes.
I'm about to change it all around because that was the website that I had while I was in Texas, and it's a new day. I just have to get some time to put on my new products that are out and available at the shows. And I'm also starting my social media. So I believe it's at Zen Side Out Life for Instagram, and the same for Facebook. But I'm brand new to that part. So.
No, not a problem. Not a problem at all. So thank you so much, Miss June, for joining us today. It's been a pleasure. You. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure having you all join us today. This is the Business Information Buffet Podcast, also known as the BIB Podcast, where everybody eats. Make sure you follow us on all of our social handles, the.bib.podcast, on YouTube, the BIB Podcast, on Apple Music, the podcast. The BIB Podcast, ladies and gentlemen, just follow us.
Be there.
Subscribe. Be there. Okay?
You don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this.
Not at all, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Sean Tory, with our DJ Icebreak, and we'll catch you next time, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye.